You use an unbelievable show of force. You're happy to deploy them against Catholics and innocent children. Happy to. And then you haul him into court and a jury acquits him in 1 hour.
Logical response.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is Logical Response, a channel focused on politics, politicians, what they do, what they say, what they might do, what they might say, the stuff they try to get away with, and some of the stuff the news media just doesn't cover that we might need to know about. We got the Senate Judiciary Committee going after MERRICK Garland once again. This guy has just been a disaster, it seems like. Now, I haven't paid really close attention to the Attorney General in the past, but the previous administration wasn't that bad. I can't really tell you about before that, but for the past 2 years, this guy has been getting grilled by senators. Like, it's just crazy, some of the stuff that's coming out of this Department of Justice. It's nuts, and there's a little bit of twist at the end of this, so you might want to stick around and find out what's going on. Let's roll the clip.
Let's talk about the Mark Houck case, for example. You've been asked about this already today, and frankly, your answers really astound me. This is a case where a Catholic pro-life demonstrator, father, was accused of disorderly conduct in front of an abortion center. The local prosecutor, the Philadelphia district attorney, who is a Democrat, a liberal, very progressive, declined to prosecute. There was a private suit that got dismissed. And then after all of that, your Justice Department sent between 20 and 30 armed agents in the early morning hours to the Houck's private residence to arrest this guy after he had offered to turn himself in voluntarily. Here's the photo. Once again, you can see the long guns, you can see the ballistic shields, you can see that they're wearing bulletproof vests. Why did the Justice Department do this? Why did you send 20 to 30 SWAT-style agents and a SWAT-style team to this guy's house when everybody else had declined to prosecute and he'd offered to turn himself in?
Determinations of how to make arrests under arrest warrants are made based by the tactical operators in the district. They are not.
But you surely looked into it by this point, right? You know the answer, surely. All
I know is what the FBI has said, which is that they made decisions on the ground as to what was safest and easiest. So you do not agree with your description of what happened on the scene.
You don't agree with my description. I'm pointing out what the photo is. There are agents here who have long guns and ballistic shields. Let's take a look at the hardened criminals.
All right, so it's immediately apparent to me he's trying to deflect here. He just seems like he doesn't care. He's like, they made the decision on the ground, and come on, dude, you're responsible for these people. If you don't like the decisions they're making, you should probably lay that out before stuff like this happens. Get your people in line. Now, I don't know the particulars of this situation, but it does seem a little bit excessive. We'll get into that at the end. Let's keep rolling.
That your Justice Department sent these armed agents to go terrorize on that morning. Here they are at Mass. Here's the 7 children with Mr. Houck and his wife. In this early morning, they were all at home. Mrs. Houck has said repeatedly the children were screaming. They feared for their lives. You got these agents demanding that he come out. They've got the guns, she said, pointing at the house and at them. He has offered to turn himself in. And this is who you go to terrorize. What's really interesting to me is this seems to directly contradict your own memorandum about the use of force at the Justice Department. You say officers may use only the force that is objectively reasonable to effectively control an incident. Are you telling me that in your opinion as Attorney General, it was objectively necessary to use 20 or 30 SWAT-style agents with long guns and ballistic shields for these people?
What I'm saying is that decisions about how to go about this were made on the ground by FBI agents.
So you're saying you don't know?
I'm saying what I just said,
which is that you're abdicating responsibility?
I'm not abdicating
Then
responsibility.
give me the answer. Do you think, in your opinion, you are the Attorney General of the United States? You are in charge of the Justice Department, and yes, sir, you are responsible.
Yeah.
So give me an answer.
The FBI does not agree.
Oh yeah, he just repeated himself again. The FBI does not agree with your description of the situation. Well, he's not asking the FBI. He's asking you. You're supposed to be over the entire Justice Department. Why are you trying to throw the FBI under the bus? What is really going on here? Let's keep rolling.
With your description.
I'm not asking about the FBI. You are the Attorney General. Give me your answer. Do you think that it was objectively reasonable and they followed your guidelines in sending 20 to 30 armed agents to terrorize these people? Yes or no?
The facts I have, which are those presented by the FBI, are not consistent with your description.
So you think it was reasonable?
I'm saying the facts are not as you describe.
What, that the children weren't there? That there weren't long guns there? That there weren't agents? What do you dispute? What's the factual premise you dispute? Be
FBI
specific.
said they don't agree with your description of
Be specific. They don't agree with what?
of how many agents, of the agents who were there, and of what their roles were. They don't agree.
Do you know the
All I can
jury
say.
in this case acquitted Mr. Houck? I'm sure you're aware. Do you know how long it took him?
I am aware, and we respect the decision of the jury.
Do you know how long it took him?
I don't know.
1 hour. 1 hour. Philadelphia District Attorney declines to prosecute. The private suit's dismissed. You use an unbelievable show of force with guns that I just note liberals usually decry. We're supposed to hate long guns and assault-style weapons. You're happy to deploy them against Catholics and innocent children. Happy to. And then you haul him into court and a jury acquits him in 1 hour. I just suggest to you that that is a disgraceful performance by your Justice Department and a disgraceful use of resources. I notice a pattern, though. The FBI field office in Richmond on the 23rd of January of this year issued a memorandum in which they advocated for, and I quote, the exploration of new avenues for tripwire and source development against traditionalist Catholics, it's their language, including those who favor the Latin Mass. Attorney General, are you cultivating sources and spies in Latin Mass parishes and other Catholic parishes around the country?
The Justice Department does not do that. It does not do investigations based on religion. I saw the document you have.
What did you do about it?
It's appalling. It's appalling. I'm in complete agreement with you. I understand that the FBI has withdrawn it and is now looking into how this could ever have happened.
How did it happen?
That's what they're looking into. But I'm totally in agreement with you. That document is appalling.
I'll tell you how it happened. This memorandum, which is supposed to be intelligent, cites extensively the Southern Poverty Law Center, which goes on to identify all of these different Catholics as being part of hate groups. Is this how the FBI, under your direction and leadership, is this how they do their intelligence work? They look at left-wing advocacy groups to target Catholics? Is this what's going on? I mean, clearly it is. How is this happening?
The FBI is not targeting Catholics, and as I've said, this is an inappropriate memorandum, and it doesn't reflect the methods that the FBI is supposed to be using. It should not be relying on any single organization without doing its own work.
Let me just ask you, as my time expires here, a very direct question. How many informants do you have in Catholic churches across America?
I don't know, and I don't believe we have any informants aimed at Catholic churches. We have a rule against investigations based on First Amendment activity, and Catholic churches are obviously First Amendment activity.
Well,
but I don't know the specific answer to your question.
You don't know the specifics of anything, it seems, but apparently on your watch, this Justice Department is
Yeah,
targeting
I'd say
Catholics,
so.
targeting people of faith, specifically for their faith views. And Mr. Attorney General, I'll just say to you, it's a disgrace.
And yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It is a disgrace. But one thing I really want to know what's going on here, because this kind of seems outlandish. Like, he states first that it's disorderly conduct. Now, first thing, why would the Justice Department get involved with a simple disorderly conduct? That doesn't make any sense to me. Then he says the prosecutor declined to prosecute. It should have been over right there. Once again, why is this going all the way up to the Department of Justice? Is this playing politics? Is the Department of Justice really digging that far into this? Or is this being sensationalized by the senator? Who has the most to gain from this? He's given a complete dressing down of Merrick Garland right here. And it looks fabulous for constituencies. Looks great. It seems ridiculous that the Department of Justice would go after somebody for disorderly conduct. There's something much deeper going on right here. I tried to look into this case. I couldn't really find much on it at all, except for basically the knowledge that's given out in this video. You can't see anything. I couldn't find it, at least. I tried. But this is very peculiar to me because it doesn't make any sense why the Department of Justice would go that hard on something that seems so small. And how is this being turned into this big old fiasco in the Senate hearing right here? I don't know. I think there is a little bit of misconduct on the Department of Justice on this, and I do think that the senator here is beefing up a little bit of sensationalism for his constituents. So that's something we all need to look out for. These politicians are very charismatic and good at sensationalizing small shit. Just something to keep in mind. But thank everybody for watching. I appreciate all y'all. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you get notified every time I drop a video. Hit the like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.